there are multiple ways to install packages. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're installing packages, but I'll be showing you different types of way to install packages. And this will be pretty interesting because I'll show you a few tricks that you can use. So without further ado, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like on the video if you find it helpful or even entertaining. Check out my Patreon and also join the Discord server. Yeah, that's enough blabbing for one video. Anyway, let's get right into it. First up is the most obvious method, which is the package manager. If you're on Arch Linux or any type of Arch distro, it's relatively simple. We can use sudo pacman and then -s to install any type of packages. -s basically means sync, so it will sync packages. So now this video I'm installing what's called Obsidian. So Obsidian has multiple ways of installing, and you may wonder why not VS Code or something like that, because Obsidian has a really annoying way too. So we'll clear that as well. So if I do Obsidian here, as you can see, there is a package for it. So we can install it. Now here's something, a quick tip. If you didn't know, you can do SS, so one big S, one small s, and it will actually search for what packages are there. So let's just install it this way first, and let's just wait for it to be done, and then we can move on. So there we go. Now we should have Obsidian installed. There we go. It is installed, and if I click on it, obviously it will just run. But there are other ways we can install it. So let's close this. And to uninstall a package, it's really simple. All you have to do is just hit RNS, and RNS basically just deletes dependencies if it has installed it. So we can delete everything. There we go. And now if you are using Arch Linux or any type of Arch distro for that matter, there's something called the AUR. So we can use AUR helper and then install the package. We can do -s, and then the same thing we can do Obsidian. And what this will do is actually build the package. So in case you don't find it in the main repository for Arch, like exclusively for Arch, there is this AUR. So that's one reason to get switched to Arch. And there is a lot of packages in AUR. And as for the packages, it's the same as searching for yay. And you can see in here, there is a lot of extra stuff that did not appear in the Pacman version. And there's also a bit of spoiler, which is Obsidian Appimage. We'll cover that. There is even a CLI version. So yeah, there is a lot that is in here. And I won't just open every time, but you will notice that there is this thing appearing. Now this will be important. Keeping that in mind that every time we install it, it appears here. And as for uninstalling packages from the AUR, it's same as a Pacman. So we can do RNS and then hit Y. Now these are the conventional methods, which is the optimal way to install packages. But let's say you can find it in the AUR, you can find it in the main repository, or maybe you're just lazy and you want something much simpler. Well, there is something. If I go to, I don't have a browser, so let's install a browser. -s Firefox. So as see, it pulls it up pretty relatively simply or easily. And I would recommend you try to stick with the main repository like Pacman, not even the AUR, because there can be bugs and there can be stuff that is available there that can conclude the malware. But the Pacman is really safe, and it just, if you don't have it in Pacman, then just look for it in the AUR. So now we have a browser. Let's open up our browser. Now there is two types of store in this Linux landscape. I would go with two because there is another one which is called Nix, and I really didn't look into it too much because I don't know how to use it. But now in here, if you search for Flatpak, this Flatpak, and also there's something called Snap Store. So there you go, Snap. So these are basically, I would say these two are kind of like the package managers or the stores of Linux. So these are basically the storefronts of Linux package managers. Kind of think of it like if you used Windows, it's like the Windows store, but a bit better. Anyhow, but if you're using Arch Linux, then I would say you will most likely be using Flatpaks. But if you are on Ubuntu or mostly Debian-based system, you will be using Snap Store. And the installation process for them are relatively simple. let me show you the snap store first, because since this is not the conventional way to do it. So if I just go back and then just do snap store arc, and there you can see it has guides on how to install it on each distribution. So if you're on any other distribution, just search for that specific distribution and it should show you the setup process itself. Now in here you'll see something really funny. It is on Arch Linux, snap can be installed from the Arch user repository or the AUR. So what this means is you can actually get it in the AUR, but I'll show you the manual method of it, because, well, let's say you don't have the AUR or maybe you're on another system, then we'll be using this, and this should be pretty common among other systems as well. So first up, we'll copy this and make sure we have Git installed. And if you don't have Git installed and if you're using Arch Linux, you're really like not using Arch Linux. Just make sure to install it. It's pretty easy to install. All you have to do is just really sudo pacman -git, and yeah, you do have Git like Pacman by default, so there's not much you can do about it. But once you have Git installed, you can actually just copy the whole thing, like literally copy this entire thing with Ctrl+C and paste the whole thing in the terminal. You can do Ctrl+Shift+V. So what this will do is actually just execute all of this command at once. So let's just hit enter. So it will go one by one and execute all of them. So there you go. It's asking for a password. So this is a feature that I really like about Linux, which is not available in Windows, if you don't believe me or not. Like, I tried it. I couldn't figure it out. No, I don't say it's not available. I couldn't figure it out how to use it, where we can use multiple lines for a command. But yeah, please do let me know if you know how to do it in Windows, because I do use Windows as well. Yeah, I know, yeah. But having like multiple lines for commands, it makes it really easy to kind of set things up. Now this is for like AUR. So let us just wait for it to install. And here you can see that in the Debian, it also says like there's a bit more configuration that needs to be done. So we'll wait for it to install, then we can move on to the next steps. Also, I forgot to mention this, but if you're using the AUR or Yay, for example, if you don't have it installed, I do have a video on it. This one, and if you don't want to watch it, you can just search for Yay Arc and it will just pop up right here. You can see this GitHub link. Just go into here and there's a guide on it on how to install it. I won't show it too. Just go watch the video or just go to this link. I'm not that weird. There we go. Now, if I just hit enter, it should there. It is installed. So now we'll go to Snap Store and we can go on to the next step. What this will do is it will enable the Snapd socket, or it means that we can install stuff. Now we can just click this. So there we go. So it just tells us that if Appimages is enabled in a system, enable the service which loads Appimages profiles for SAP. So I actually don't know what this does, but anyway, we'll do the last command and there we go. We have it installed. Now I want to install the Snap Store. I think, yeah, this will install the Snap Store. So let's just get it installed. There we go. That took a bit of time, but I think Snap Store is now installed. If I think I can now install Obsidian. So if I do this, okay, so it's saying us to install it in Classic. Okay, so it is installing, and it says that if you understand that this was revision of Snap Obsidian was published using the Classic confinement and thus may perform arbitrary system changes outside of the security sandbox that snaps are usually confined to, which may put your systems at risk. So I would say that when Snap installs something, it is usually isolated within that Snap system, so it doesn't harm your system, or maybe it can't get to your system. But if you are using it with the Classic method, it just puts your system at risk. So, and it says if you understand and want to proceed, repeat the command including --classic, which you did, and it is installing. So yeah, that's what you're doing. This is the sole reason why I say that just if it's available in the main package and or the AUR, just install it from there. And I think it is installed. If I just check it, now as you can see, it is not showing. But if I just do Snap Obsidian, okay, now that's basically installed. But to run up, to run a program, we can have to do sudo snap. We just can use run. So let's see, this is the where isolation part comes in. And yeah, it may break in some systems, or maybe something may break because, well, like I said, snap is mostly for Ubuntu based system, and we're doing it on Arc, so it doesn't play very well. Yeah. But this is one of the methods how you can install stuff. So yeah, that's something. We'll close this and let's go back, and now let's check Flatpaks. So how do I, first of all, let me uninstall this. Where is the command? Can I just do un and it will just work? Okay, there we go. I think it is remove. Yeah, it is remove. Obsidian removed. There we go. Now we have uninstalled. We can go on to the Flatpaks. Now this is more, I would say, in line with Arch Linux, which is Flatpaks. So now if I just go back again, Flatpak, Arch Linux, Arc, there we go. It says Arc quick setup. Let's click on this, hit on here, and then just there you go. That should be it. Like that literally should be it. Now again, if we want to do, let's go back, and then in here, let's see, get set up. It says here, you see there's Arc, so we can get here the same way. Install apps. If you just go here, this is the store, so we can find a lot of things. If I search for Obsidian, there you go. As you can see, it is verified. The owner ID has been verified using Obsidian, so it is verified. We can install it. Here's the package. Like, here's literally the way to install it. So we can do that, or maybe we can just click on this. Yeah, it just downloads the file. But I want to do it this way. But if we have the file, I think we can just. Anyway, we're going to ahead of ourselves. Let's clear it. Now we have Flatpaks. So if I just copy this command right here, it should install it. There we go. Yes, I want to install it. Yes, there we go. And this has a pretty nice user base. Now, here's something that I'll give you a quick note about this. If you are using Flatpak, like if you are using it and you're on a GUI based system, so you're not running it purely on terminal, then there is something called discover. And let me just pull it up. I'll just pull another one. If I do sudo pacman -s discover, again, this is mostly for Arc. I don't know if it works on other packages as well. I just seen it in KDE mostly, which usually comes bundled in if you use the KDE meta package, sorry, Plasma meta package. But I don't usually do that. I just pick the desktop one, which is pretty lightweight, and it helps me like use the system without having 1,000 of applications that I will never use. So there you go. Now we have discover. As you can see, discover just pops up here. If I hit it, open it, this is basically a package manager for Flatpak. So let me go back here, close this. So yeah, this is the kind of like package manager for Flatpak. So it will install packages based like from the Flatpak repository. There is updates and stuff. I think it is not loading properly because I am already running Flatpak, but just keep that in mind that if you are using Flatpaks, might as well get this. It just makes things much easier to manage, and yeah, you have a lot of things here like cursors and stuff. So yeah, cursors, like packages, like global themes. There is a lot in here. So whichever one we want, we have add-ons and stuff. So basically, it kind of centralizes everything in one spot. So make sure to check this out if you are interested in basically a software manager. Let us wait for it to install. And there we go. That's basically the installation process of Flatpak. And yeah, it did take a lot of time. And to run this, I think, yeah, there you go. It does have a command. I think it basically just replaces this install with run. Let's say if this runs. Yeah, it does run. So what this two does is Snap and Flatpak is kind of, it isolates the application. So it is isolated from the system. And in case something breaks, it just breaks in that isolated system. I think that's at least what I observed. If you guys think anything else, let me know in the comments below. Comments are open. So comment down whatever you think. And I would say that those are basically the major ways you can install in Linux. And there is one more way, which I would say is a bit special, which is Appimages. So if I go to the website of Obsidian, right here, if I go to download, you can see it says download for Linux app image. If I just hit enter, it will start downloading it. And also there is an extra thing that you need if you want to install Obsidian, obviously, which is Fuse. So if I open up my console and do sudo pacman -s fuse 2, this is what we need, or like it doesn't work for some reason. So yeah, so make sure to check for dependencies in case you missed any, because those will mess with your head a lot. Okay, so it is downloaded. We can go to sudo downloads ls, and there you go. We have Obsidian app image, and if I want to run this, it's pretty simple. We can do Obsidian. Okay, so after you get the app image, there is a bit more we can do. So we have to do chmod +x, and then the one we want to run, the app image we want to run. So make sure to do this, and then we can run the image, which is just literally typing this in. There you go. It does open. Now this is a bit of a like weird thing to always type it in the terminal, and like, yeah, I get it, for flathub and stuff we still had to do it. So if I just type in Obsidian here, as you can see, this does pop up, but yeah, it actually does not do much. But there is actually a way to have app images embedded into your system. Like I found this in Arch Linux. I don't know if it works for other systems as well, but there is a way, which is if we do like mkdir. So let me just close this. And okay, so this will be a bit of a long one, so hold on. Let me just type in the command. First, we need to make a directory, which is home. So we have to specify its home. We have to go local share application. So in case you don't have it, make sure to create this directory. And if we do, since we do have it, we don't need to create it. But now we need a text editor. So do I have nvim? No, I need it. So let me just -s neovim. There you go. Now what we can do is to nvim, or you can use nano, like any text editor would do, even Kate, for example, if you don't want to use any complicated ones. But I'll just use nvim just because I can. Then we just have to do obsidian dot desktop. So once you do this, hit enter, and it will create a file. And what do we do in this file? So here's what we type. Give me a moment. I'll type it out and then I'll explain the file we need to run. So yeah, now let's see. Now it should work. Yep, there we go. Obsidian. And yeah, we have two more options with the office. And is there the notes one? I don't see notes, but yeah, whatever. Now if I click on this, it should run the command and open up Obsidian. There you go. As you can see, it doesn't have a logo, so we can get a logo, but for now, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video or find this video even a little bit helpful, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.